Most people look at the way I train and they're confused. But honestly, I look at most people in the gym and I think to myself, sure, you might look good, but I know that by the time you hit 40, you're going to be a broken vegetable. But the thing is, I'm not training to look good. I'm training for function and longevity. Looking good is just a byproduct of the way that I move and live my life every single day. So in this video, I want to share with you how you should be training if you care about longevity and if you want to move well for the rest of your life. You know what's funny? Most people think that they're fit. I was one of those people. You look at them, they're strong, shredded, veiny, jacked, but give them a simple task like sitting cross-legged or hanging from a bar for 60 seconds, and they're shaking like a chihuahua in a thunderstorm. So something's not adding up here. You've got a body built like a Lamborghini, but no suspension, bold tires, and you can't make a U-turn without blowing out your back. That's not fitness, ladies and gents. That is a performance prop, a costume. And underneath all of that, you're left with tight hips, frozen shoulders, and a spine that hasn't moved properly in decades. These people can bench press 2 plates, but they can't rotate their neck without turning their whole body out. We have built a culture of muscular dysfunction, aesthetically elite but functionally screwed individuals. Me, I'm training for the stuff that no one claps for. The ability to squat for 10 minutes straight, to crawl, to rotate, to backbend, to hang, to brachiate, to live like a human. That's real fitness. That's what lasts. Not your abs, not your angles, and not your PRs on leg extensions. You cannot reverse engineer movement. The modern gym is a factory of dysfunction everywhere you look. Everyone's trying to piece together movement by isolating body parts. We have our back day, our chest day, our leg day, our arm day. But bro, you're not assembling a Lego set. You are a system, a perfect symphony. Every part of you talks to every other part of you. And when you train like a spreadsheet, you kill that communication. And that's why you end up stiff, sore, injured, and broken, not even knowing where it came from. You want to move well? Then move. Not just lift, not just flex. You need to actually move. I see people doing 17 variations of bicep curls, but they can't get up from the floor without pushing off their knee like they're 80 years old. The real work, it's in the transitions, the chaos, the integration, the unpredictability of movement. Because movement isn't linear, it's 3-dimensional, it's inconvenient, it is always unpredictable. And if your training is always predictable, always linear, your body is going to break the first time that life gets real. Remember, longevity lives in the joints. Most people train like they're decorating a house, slapping paint on the walls, putting up mirrors, putting up little decorations. But me, I'm down in the basement. I'm checking the cracks, reinforcing the structure, fixing all the leaks, and making sure it's bulletproof. Because your joints are your foundation. And most people are walking around with sandbags for knees and rusted shoulders. Yes, they've got big muscles which are sitting on broken joints. They're loading dysfunction and calling it progress. But longevity isn't just about staying injury-free. It's about earning control in places that most people avoid. The backbend, the deep squat, the splits, the isometric horse stance. That place where your body shakes and your mind tries to escape. That's where real resilience is built. That's what keeps you moving when everyone else is talking about their old injuries. Because you don't lose mobility with age. You lose it because you stop putting yourself in positions that demand it. You all had it once, as a kid, as a toddler, but somewhere along the lines, you lost that. So ask yourself where. And this is why I move my body every single day. I don't train, I don't exercise, I move. I utilize movement into everything that I do. It's part of my existence. It's how I clean the system. It's how I regulate stress, release pressure, realign my body and mind. For me, it's not about sets and reps and numbers. It's about keeping my nervous system awake, resilient, robust, and ready. Every crawl I do, every hang I hold, every squat I put my body through, it reminds my body that you are still human, you're still alive, and you owe it to yourself to make your body perform at its peak physical condition. Most people treat their training like a punishment, but for me, mine is a nourishment. You want to feel good when you're 60? Then you better start now. Because mobility isn't something that you add in, it's something you protect with your life. And I move daily, not because I'm extreme, but because I refuse to be average. A human being was designed to move, not sit. And today's society, all they do is sit 24/7. So if you want to be different, you have to think different, you have to do different, you have to be different. And that means training to become someone different. The way you train is the way you live your life. And if you're showing up half-assed, just ticking the boxes, that's not training. That's just maintenance. That's just existing. That's just ticking off a box to say you've done something. My training isn't just physical. It's emotional, it's mental, it's spiritual. Because every time I sit in discomfort, every time I hold a position longer than I want to, every time I shake but stay, I'm becoming someone different. Not just more mobile, more aware, or more powerful. Movement is a form of self-discipline, which allows me to stack habits that compound over time that eventually turn me into a stronger, more resilient human. You want to feel real change, then you've got to go to the edge, and then you have to stay there long enough to burn away who you used to be. So looks or longevity, pick one. You can keep chasing aesthetics, but you know, it's just a trap. It's not going to help you when your back seizes up tying your shoes, or when you're 42 and you can't lift your arm overhead without wincing. I'm not here for that life. I'm not here to fall apart slowly and call it normal. I'm not here to accept what society accepts at 40. I want to be 50, 60, 70 and still backbend. I want to play on the floor with my kids. I want to sprint barefoot. I want to freaking feel alive. This body is not for display. It's for living. It's for thriving. So you've got a choice. You can keep flexing in the mirror, or you can build a body that lasts. I choose longevity. I choose movement. Now it's your turn.